entered here 3v3 faction war Typhon Arena, Space Marines versus Eldar. Blue team Wildbold plays a Techmarine, good range damage, can also repair and put up structures, has some nice utility. Blood Ravens get a run out. Osinski alongside is a Force Commander, offensive melee, quite versatile, can disrupt, tank and smash faces in. This is Imperial Fist DLC. Necronlord rounds out blue team as an Apothecary, support commander, fights melee by default, can get a ranged weapons, has a nice targeted heal and a passive health regeneration aura. Red team HansMoleman is a Warp Spider Exarch, teleporting commander, fights range by default, can harass really well, map control and mobility his speciality. Boris alongside is a Warlock, offensive melee, good mobility with fleets, can tank and disrupt really well later on. Eerie rounding out red team as an Eldar Farseer, also has fleet, so good mobility, is a support commander, fights melee, loads of buffs and debuffs, but can hand out some pain. And as usual we have two commanders at the bottom. VP Warlock getting way overextended and is going to go down from Boris. Down he goes. Now the Farseer in there alone, she only starts with 630 hit points. Banshees though coming in and a really nice special attack from the Farseer. Banshees here in trouble. Will they get away? These are Eerie's and they do get away, I think. Yes. Guardians now behind cover here from Eerie. Boris is also. Double Guardians for Boris, including the Guardians. It starts with Eerie, those Howling Banshees that retreated already a plasma grenade. And Tactical Marines get back up, have not lost a model, and blood and guts flying on those two sync kills. Meanwhile top, Wildbold forced off by the Eldar, as you'd expect in first engagement versus the Warp Spider Exarch. Warp Spider Exarch really nice in first engagements when with Banshees, because he can teleport in and tie up range squads while the Banshees run in and chop the crap out of everything. And Eldar should be able to take both of the natural victory points. Space Marines have the southwest though. Force Commander now smacking on a power node. Apothecary with 550 hit points to start off needs to be very careful at the beginning of the game. We have Tactical Marine Flamers for both Space Marine plays, so these generators not lasting very long. Flamers are good versus garrisons, units in cover, light infantry in general, and taking down structures do leave you a bit more vulnerable since you need to get closer to use them. But Tactical Marine is quite a durable unit, especially when paired up with an Apothecary, and he's going to go down here. Just lost track of him for a second and down he goes. Force Commander of Osinski gets the Iron Halo and might be able to get the Apothecary back to his feet immediately, and does, and that levels him to 3 already. What are we, 3 minutes in? He's level 3 Force Commander. Farseer runs away, Apothecary also runs away. Huge amounts of pressure on this power here. Meanwhile, HansMoleman is bashing Blue's central natural power. Howling Banshees make a pretty good gen bashing unit, which Eldar can struggle with, otherwise they can't get a Flamer type unit in tier 1. 481, 470 Tactical Marines here for Necronlord, losing a model and retreating. Necronlord loves to get Assault Marines out as soon as possible and usually gets the Mastercrafted Bolter on his Apothecary. We'll see what he does. He is getting some Assault Marines here. 2-to-1 cap for Blue. Assault Marines also on the way for Wildbold, and loses his Tactical Marines. That was a grenade. There you see it, nicely done by HansMoleman. Wow. Wildbold not happy. He has the Mastercrafted, but will allow him, or at least help him, to control those Banshees with high powered shot. Might see him get Bionics as well. Might want to get shotguns using the scouts to cap right now. HansMoleman in almost a full retreat. Eldar retake the bottom though. It's going to be a 2-to-1 for the Space Marines, I think, who are getting their power hit here. Lots and lots of power harass early on for both sides. This is the only power that's been untouched, and now it is getting touched. Here come Imperial Fist Tactical Marines with a Flamer. Force Commander bringing up the rear. Warp Spider Exarch forces off those scouts, but they did finish the cap there. And Wildbold now taking down his node, but be able to cap it with those scouts. All kicking off at the bottom. Howling Banshees need more support than that. Assault Marines almost jumped on them. There's a nice grenade, but it would have hit the Tactical Marine that already died. Shuriken Cannon will be forced off by the Marines. They are able to just get into melee with their chainswords and back it off. He might lose this Shuriken because they're jumping after it. Bang, 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 bang. Gets away, does it? No, goes down to a stray bolt, I think. Warlock has his Merciless Switchblade, one of the best, if not the best melee weapon in Tier 1. Energy drain, good DPS, and that excellent range attack which knocks down models. He's in retreat here though, and he's lucky those Marines couldn't jump after him. There is the Ghost Helm, really nice accessory, but might want to get Spirit Stones instead because these Banshees are not lasting long in engagements. Could get Fortune, Armor of Fortune, sorry. We do see Mastercrafted Bolter on Necronlord also getting Armor of Purity. Farseer is in trouble here. Might be taken out in retreat by the Force Commander. One more hit. Bang. And a bolt pistol shot and she goes down. 471, 429. Should be able to easily revive her there though. And Space Marines capping the Southwest VP with Tactical Marines. They did defend their power decently well. Grenades on the Techmarine. He gets back up and carries on fighting. He does have Bionic, so Banshees need to watch the hell out, getting close to him. These are handsome Wildbolds, Blood Raven Assault Marines. Jumping after these Guardians here. Need to watch out for grenade spikes. Assault Marines tend to get very bunched up when they're in melee, but they do escape there. In fact, those Guardians obliterated one of their own members with that grenade. Space Marines have taken bottom. Wildbold not down there though to put a turret up or something. Rangers on the field for Boris. Surprised this is the only one we're seeing. Eerie, of course, losing his Shuriken. This is a sniper infantry. Good burst damage from range, can also disrupt. Needs to set up briefly with those sniper rifles. And another power asset at the bottom with these double flamers. Really nicely used by blue team. Warlock is trolling Marines with his Merciless Switchblade from range. Assault Marines jumping in. Need to be careful. Howling Banshees are in there. Howling Banshees, of course, really, really bad news for Assault Marines in Tier 1. Those Assault Marines also got Mind Ward by the Farseer. And Assault Marines losing 2 models. They do get away though. Nice grenade on the scouts. Boom. And they'll get right back up. Apothecary will die. Range damage just took him down with these Shuriken catapults. And those Rangers were getting lots of shots in. The fuck, says Necronlord. Did not notice the Rangers taking shots at his face. This node will go down and most likely be capped by this Warpsword Exarch. He might teleport ahead and decap this VP. In fact, 471, 361. No, he is going to decap the power node. We have Howling Banshees for HansMoleman with their Exarch and their aspect. They are now going to be a pretty fierce melee unit in Tier 2 and a soft vehicle counter. Heavy gauge Death Spinner is this. Yes, and this is going to be a dead Techmarine because of it. Looks like he used Bionics or Powerful Sweep as he was on the floor there and knocked back a couple of the Banshees, but he can't stop himself going down. His Banshee's in trouble. There's a grenade, misses everything. And we might see these Assault Marines forcing off both these Guardians. We'll see how HansMoleman plays this. 471, 342. Wraithlord on the field for Eerie. Walker vehicle for Eldar. Really nice in melee. Can also get a shoulder mounted ranged weapon in addition to this wrist mounted Shuriken catapult. Looks like they don't want to go up against those Marines just yet. We might see a Power Fist in response. In fact, we already do. A very, very dangerous Force Commander now has Artificer also. 465, 342, a 2-to-1 cap for the Eldar. Assault Marines losing a model, but they do retain their Sergeant. Very surprised that the Warpser Exarch hasn't used his mobility to come and decap this Techmarine. You saw the damage he did there with a few seconds of his Mastercrafted bot. Needs to be very careful. There is the heavy gauge Death Spinner again, and Howling Banshees might take him out here. They're chasing, and I think he was going to go down. Bang. One more spear hit, and we get a sync kill from the Exarch. That's awesome. 444, 342. Big engagement over Blue's natural power here. Grenades going in. Both on the Force Commander, who tanks it all with his Artificer Armor and Iron Halo. This is the Farseer down. She's level 2. Force Commander's level 4, going after the Wraithlord. He does not have the energy now to use Flesh over Steel because of his shield. Librarian in the thick of it. This is Osinski's Necronlord, yet to get a tier 2 unit. He's probably, yes, has upgraded his infantry squads from tier 1. Force Commander still going after that Wraithlord. There's an Autarch being dropped. 420, 342, 2-1 cap for Red Team. Dreadnought on the way for her Wildbold. Here's a Bright Lance. Can't do much at the bottom, no vehicles down here. Always strange, I think, to see a player get a Bright Lance out or any hard vehicle counter without seeing a vehicle. Is different for Plague Marines, which can do other things for you, type units, and of course Venom Brood, which gives you range synapse. For getting something out like a Bright Lance, maybe they were planning to use it to bash power if no vehicles came around, but still should have waited until you see a vehicle. I think 397, 342. Handsome Wildbold gets his Dreadnought on the field. Grenades going in and more. Bang. Tactical Marines lose a model. These guys are the Imperial Fists, but they do get away okay. Necronlord's Apothecary now level 3, fully kitted out, improved medical equipment. It's all kicking off at the top. Wraithlord on the field for HansMoleman. Where is that Dreadnought? Might see a multi-melter or something cool like that. Techmarine trying to cap, but he's taking tons of damage. Look at that Shuriken Cannon, shoulder mounted on the Wraithlord. Does really nice DPS. 391, 335. It's going to be a big loss if he loses this Wraithlord now. And here comes the Dreadnought. A Dreadnought will take a Wraithlord 1v1 in melee combat because it has more health. 1200 versus 1200. No, it doesn't have more health. I thought it did. 391, 322. I think it does take one down though. Assault is in huge amounts of trouble. There's a Merciless Strike getting smacked by the Wraithlord. Could have got one more hit there, I think. Banshees run away. Merciless Switchblade smacking some scouts who were repairing that power node, and now he's gonna revive the Farseer. Yes. Tactical Marines level 3 for Necronlord, and also for Osinski. He is going to harass this power with his Imperial Fists. Autarch dropped on the scouts. Handsome Wildbold does notice, takes one hit, but she doesn't want to have a fight with a Dreadnought, I don't think. Here comes the Wraithlord, who took a lot of damage. You might see Handsome Wildbold get a melter gun out, or perhaps missile launcher. Yes, there we see it. Wraithlord getting hits off with that big Wraith Sword of his. Special attack does nothing. Here comes HansMoleman using that Webway Gate. Missile shot on the Wraithlord. Needs to be very careful now. Maybe he can turn and get another hit. Loses a model. Banshee is going in to tie them up. Bottom is turning red. Eldar will have a 2-1. Tier 3 for Osinski, tier 3 for Necronlord. Eerie looking a bit thin. Has Warp Spiders on the field though. They have the Exarch and their Aspect as well. 389, 258. Assault Marine jumping them. These are Necronlords with their Sergeant. Gets them a power sword. Allows them to hang in melee a lot better with their Merciless Strike against Banshees and such. Autarch jumping in, has her spear. Really nice power melee weapon. As you can see, almost 65 DPS power melee on a very quick unit. 375, 258, a 2-1 for Eldar. Space Marines have had their power decapped here. Tactical Marines with a plasma gun. Not sure why versus Eldar, but there you go. Maybe in preparation for an avatar in tier 3. They are forced off here though. And Apothecary goes down. Eldar might be able to cap this power. Wildbold though, having a lot better luck at the top, is going to take both of these VPs. Takes down the webway gate as well. There we go. Techmarine level 2. Dreadnought still level 1. Librarian on the field for Osinski is top for some reason. Has Tome of Time. You have some power harass from the Marines, and looks like they have wiped out these gen farm. The node still stands. Autarch jumping randomly. And these guys now run away. Level 3 Marines, doesn't want to lose them. Wouldn't like to lose a model either. Should be okay. 368, 239. A 2-to-1 for Space Marines. They have both of the naturals. Thanks to Mr. Wildbold. HansMoleman needs a way to deal with this Dreadnought. Has not dealt with it and lost his Wraithlord. Force Commander's going to get grenaded on retreat, but they're just a bit too early. Banshees chasing scouts, but they get away, and now they're in big trouble. Dreadnought gets a smack on them in retreat. Assault Marines turn around, but can't take a model. Level 2 Howling Banshees. Eldar have both of the bottom powers still. Force Commander will most likely go and revive this Apothecary now. And that will level him to 6. Warlock also level 6. Has Heart of Darkness, Champion's Robe, Merciless Switchblade. He is now fearsome in combat and very tough. What's the Exarch being sneaky, teleporting, and he's going to decap this VP, you would think. Scouts decapping Red's natural though, and all of these guys are going to come defend it, I think. Here comes a Bright Lance from Boris to try and take this Dreadnought out. Bright Lances do very nice anti-vehicle DPS, but they don't snare targets like las cannons do. Tier 3 for Boris. Osinski is tier 3 and has tons of resources. Look at this. Almost 1600 requisition. Must be waiting for a Land Raider. 350, 208. Force Commander level 6. Revived the Apothecary there. This is a Falcon on the field for Boris. Nice support vehicle for Eldar. Needs to be careful. Are there any missile launch attacks at the bottom? Yes, Osinski's have a missile launcher. And of course that Power Fist. Bright Lance doesn't know what the hell it's doing. What are you doing? Facing the wrong way. 350, 192. Kicking off at the top. It's gonna kick off, certainly. You see the Autarch here giving a passive buff to all of these units. She also gives off a AoE buff when she kills something like Terminators and melee Dreadnoughts. And look at this one. Has a fusion gun. This thing's awesome. And there's a highway grenade on this Dreadnought. The Dreadnought's now in trouble. Autarch is going after it with her spear. It's a power weapon, so will do some damage to vehicles. And this might be a dead Dreadnought here. Missile launcher going in, but it's not going to do a lot versus this infantry. And this Dreadnought goes down. Yes. Orbital bombardment is used down here. Yes. Osinski going for orbital bombardment and not Terminators. He is going for a Land Raider Redeemer though. Wildbold floating tons of resources. He might be going for a Land Raider as well. Necronlord has gone for a Predator. Surprising that he has not gone for Terminators. Eerie goes tier 3. Maybe we'll see some Seer Council. Eldar have both of the naturals and are now capping up the rest of the points at the top. Are we going to see a power harass? Here is that Predator, starts off with that autocannon. Autarch needs to be careful and runs away. Here come Assault Marines. Warp Spider's taking tons of damage there, and they teleport towards the Predator. What is this? It's Terminators from Wildbold. Blood Ravens sending their finest. Howling Banshees in amongst the Assault Marines and some more Terminators. These guys are from Necronlord. Now the Eldar up against it. Land Raider hits the field from Osinski. 319, 190, a 2-to-1 for the Space Marines. And can you really see the Eldar getting back into this with the Terminators on the field? Wildbold capping this power with his Techmarine has constantly changed hands. And Eldar getting their power decapped. Space Marines have the bottom completely now. What is this? What's a Exarch? Trolling some scouts, taking out 2 models. These guys are level 2 and run away. Have their sergeant. 319, 168. Bright Lance for Eerie now. Bright Lances actually do pretty nice DPS versus Terminators since they are a large target. Rangers are not going to have a lot of luck capping or destroying that node. Here is the Land Raider from Osinski. Huge super unit for Space Marines, basically a mobile base, allows you to reinforce, retreat to it, transport inside it, and gives a health regen aura. And when things get close like that, it absolutely decimates them. Has a multi-melter, twin linked assault cannon, and these huge flamestorm cannons on the side, and grenade launchers on the front. There's a singularity. Didn't kill anything, I don't think. That's from this D cannon of Boris, which then runs away. 319, 159. Wildbold taking his natural back, takes it for a 2-to-1 again. And it's putting pressure on Red's natural 2. Have some tactical marines and assault marines up here. Fusion gun Autarch still skipping around. Now trying to take down those Terminators. They have an assault cannon, and look at the damage to the Autarch. She just about gets away there. Howling Banshees in amongst it, needs some support, level 2, and now run away. Terminators forcing melee on the D cannon and mash it good, and look at the map control for Space Marines. They are now assaulting the Eldar bases. This is how quickly it can turn around when Terminators hit the field. Sacred Standard, Force Commander, constant AoE damage buff. As you can see, it increases if he's taken down. And some Wildbold calling for caution. Seer Council are on the field for Eerie. Unique melee unit to the Farseer. Really nice power melee. Leap into combat as well. Going after the Force Commander, there's a special attack, and he should be able to run away. Yes. Triple cap for Space Marines, and it's pretty much all over. Predator also on the field for Osinski now. He did not get Terminators though. I'm not sure what damage that orbital bombardment did. Looks like they were pretty close together. Here is Necron's Predator. Where are his Terminators? They are also there. Have the Cyclone missile launcher. Wildbold's Terminators at the top. Webway gate here. There is the triple cap. I think HansMoleman has stopped playing because he's just has tons of resources and isn't using them. Eldar fighting to the end, not conceding. Seer Council fighting in their own base. Terminators there are not suppressed, of course, by these base turrets. Grenades going in. There's the double cap. 319-4, and here is the victory for the Space Marines. Was close, was very tight for a while, but once those Terminators hit the field, they pretty much just walked through everything, especially with this powerful Force Commander running around. Thanks to all the players who took part. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. See you next time.